Welcome, class, to this practice section of our lesson here. Now we're just again reviewing some ideas that we've practiced before, but I want to make sure we've practiced them enough before we move on to our next topic in fractions. So for this part of the work, I want to make sure that you have a pencil and your math notebook. Go ahead and open those up to the next clean page here, and we'll just label this adding fractions. So in this practice here, we're going to go ahead and add fractions that are rectangles, or what I've seen referred to as fraction strips. It's like we have kind of like, just imagine sort of a strip of paper here that is chopped up into pieces. So this top strip here represents one whole. That's what one whole would look like. And this bottom strip here represents that whole chopped up into 8 pieces. So I see 1 piece, 2 pieces, 3 pieces, 4 pieces, 5, 6, 7, and 8 pieces. So you'll notice that down here we have this fraction strip written out as an addition problem. 3/8 plus 3/8. And we see those represented on the fraction strip as well. Here's 3/8. 1, 2, 3 pieces, and 3 more 8s that we're adding to that. 1, 2, 3 of those. So what we're doing here is we're saying, when I take 3/8 and I add 3 more 8s, how many do I have all together? Well, that's pretty simple, right? We see here that I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and write that down just to make sure I have that noted. I've got 6 pieces. And that in our fraction is our numerator. It's how many, right? How many pieces do I have? Now here's the tricky part. When I'm adding fractions, I just added 3 plus 3, and that equaled 6. What I've seen many students do, and it's tempting to do, is to also see 8 and this 8 here, and to add those together as well. And 8 plus 8, of course, equals 16. But 6/16 is not quite the right answer, because as we see up here, when we added 3 plus 3, we got 6 8s. But notice, when we added those together, the number of pieces it takes to make a whole doesn't change. How many pieces does it take to make a whole? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That hasn't changed, which means our denominator, that shouldn't change either. It should not be 16ths. So when we add 3/8 plus 3/8, our answer will be 6/8. So we don't add the denominator, 6/8. I just wanted to point out that in IXL, you write your fraction symbol with this little slash mark right here. So notice in my answer, I wrote 6/8. I typed in 6 and then the slash button and the 8 to show 6/8. So I just want to point that out so there's no confusion about that. So our answer here is 3/8 plus 3/8 equals 6/8. And we'll go ahead and write a rule as well. Let's write that rule down. So in your math notebooks, write this down. If you need to pause it once I'm done writing, go ahead and do that. So we'll say, when adding fractions, add the numerator like normal. The denominator stays the same. So when adding fractions, add the numerator like normal. The denominator stays the same. When I say like normal, I mean 3 plus 3 equals 6. 2 plus 2 equals 4. That's adding like normal. I couldn't think of how else to describe that. So here we go. Let's try a couple of these together. And again, if I do want to make sure you have this written down in your notebook in case we're referring back to it later. I might say check your notes. If you're not sure about how to do it, you can just check out the rule here when you're wondering about how to add fractions. Now, let's practice a couple of these together. Once you have this written down, go ahead and move on to a couple of these practices together. So I'll go ahead and solve it, and then why don't you give it a try on your own. So here we've got 2/5 plus 2/5. So go ahead and use the fraction strip up here if you need to, and refer back to the rule that we just wrote down. Go ahead and try this on your own. I'll go ahead and solve it here, and we'll see if you got the same answer. If you did, great. If not, just reflect, what part was I confused about? What should I try next time differently? All right, so we've got, go ahead and write down your answer, what you think it is, and I'll go ahead and solve it once you do. 2/5 plus 2/5. Okay, well, the rule is when adding fractions, add the numerator like normal, the denominator stays the same. So I'm going to give that a try. So the numerator, I'm going to add like normal. That's 2 plus 2. 2 plus 2 equals 4. And the denominator stays the same. Well, let's see, here's the denominator here. So if the denominator stays the same, what will the denominator be in my answer? It will be 5. 4/5. That's the answer I got. Did you get that right? If you did, awesome work. If not, what was giving you trouble, or what do you need to try differently next time? Reflect on that, and maybe write yourself a little note about what you'll try differently next time. All right. Let's try this next problem here in your math notebook. We're going to try out 4/8 plus 3/8. 4/8 plus 3/8. So refer back to our rule. What is our rule again? Okay, and go ahead and apply that rule to this problem. Pause if you need to. Once you're done, go ahead and move on and check your answer with mine. Let's give it a try. All right, well, the rule is add the numerator, 4 plus 3. Let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the rule says the denominator stays the same. What is the denominator in this addition problem when we're adding here? What's the denominator? The denominator is 8. The rule says the denominator stays the same, so that's going to be an 8. 7/8 is my answer here. If you got that right, very good. And if you're having any trouble with it, what was giving you trouble? See if you can figure that out. All right, and our last problem here is an easy one. Go ahead and try that on your own. Shouldn't be too tough at this point. Once you have your answer written down, you can go ahead and move on. If you need more time, you can pause the video. All right, I'm going to solve it now. The rule says what? What is the rule about adding fractions? When we're adding fractions, we add the numerator like normal. 1 plus 1 is 2, and the denominator stays the same. What is the denominator in this fraction addition problem? The denominator is 5. The denominator stays the same. So if the denominator is 5 in our problem, it's going to be 5 in our answer. All right, well, now we've had a chance to do some practice. So you are ready for the extension. In the extension, you will be practicing this iExcel right here that I'm doing. And just click that link, practice it up to 80%, take a screenshot, and submit that. We'll have some more work that we're going to do on Wednesday that's going to take this and just kind of look at fractions in a different form or a different shape. That's all for now. Have fun with this work, and I can't wait to see the work that you do.